Hi, my name is Taylor, and I am going to be guiding us through our flow today. I'm super thankful to Manduka for having me and for bringing me on towards this unearthing the vibrations kind of celebration that they're doing, which is really just about noticing and honoring, right, this beautiful earth that we live on, the gemstones that they create, and using that as kind of a reminder for what we already possess within us. So, within our flow today, we are going to be working towards warming the entire body and moving us towards a posture called Wild Thing and kind of really learning the different ins and outs of it. I'll be giving some modifications and then giving us a couple different ways to get into that. So I'd really encourage you to move through the entire flow with me, and once we get towards that space, we'll start to integrate it in. When we're thinking about our practice today, I'd also really encourage you to kind of root into those feelings of vibrance and passion, right? Which I kind of see as really allowing our bodies to take up space. And also, two of the other really important intentions that I would encourage you to focus in on would be those things that ground you and those things in your space that really nourish you at this moment. And maybe as you're moving through this flow, you'll start to notice some things come up for you, as it usually does within our yoga practice, that you like, love, are indifferent about, or maybe even dislike, right? And as you move through those spaces, I just invite you to be with them, allow them to share room on your mat, and move your body through this space as we kind of continue to unearth what we already possess. So let's go ahead and get started right here in this nice, easy, gentle seat. And as you can see, we are outside, which I thought would be cool, right? For kind of honoring this ground, this earth, these gemstones, right? As we look towards that ruby, that vibrance. And so if you're hearing some noises, the wind, just kind of let that be a part of your practice as well, and do your best to focus in on your breath and your body. So we're going to go ahead and get started right here, rooting down into those sit bones, sitting it up nice and tall as you roll those shoulders down the spine, coming towards your breath, coming towards your body fully. Maybe drawing that right hand to the heart, maybe drawing that left hand towards the belly. And as we take a couple deep cleansing breaths here, I just want you to set the tone for your practice. As you remind yourself of why you showed up on your mat today. We'll inhale deeply through the nose, filling the belly up, filling the body, pressing it out and away. And then we'll open the mouth and exhale, and we'll let it go. And we'll just take that 2 more times here before adding any movement to our space. So let's inhale deeply through the nose, fill up the belly, breathe it in. Open the mouth, exhale, let it go. And one more here. Let's inhale deeply through the nose, maybe even closing the eyes if that feels safe for you. Open the mouth, exhale, let it go. As you take that next big inhale, go ahead and reach those arms up and overhead. Find length in the spine here. And as you exhale, send that right hand behind you, left hand to the top of the thigh. We'll sit it up nice and tall. And as you sit it up nice and tall, those right fingers gently grace the earth. You twist it over towards that right shoulder. And there's no need to crank or force the body into any position, any posture here. Really just move with where you are today. We have that tendency to kind of lean into this twist, but see if you can find length, twisting from the belly, not cranking the spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then from here, inhale, reach those arms through center. Exhale, left hand behind you, right hand to the top of that left thigh. We twist over towards that left shoulder. Again, really allowing this space to nourish the body, kind of wringing out anything here that you're feeling like you don't need for this moment, right? So if any judgments, any expectations crept onto that mat with you, to see if as you inhale, you can breathe in what you need. And as you exhale and twist, maybe a little deeper, you can let go of those spaces that you don't. Inhale, breathe it back through center, reach those arms high. Exhale, take those hands gently to the heart for just a moment. As you take a moment here with your breath and with your body, just noticing where you are, maybe setting an intention for yourself, for your mind, your body, and your practice. Something that feels good and whole and safe for you. Something that you can come back to. Thinking of those things that we would like to nourish us in this moment. Take a deep breath in, whatever that may be. I invite you to breathe it into your full body. Open the mouth, exhale, letting go of everything else. And from here, go ahead and come with me. We will place those hands down onto our mat. Tops of feet will press into the mat as well. I'm going to be using this little blanket here to pad up the knees a little extra since I am outside on the concrete. So if you'd like that as well, you go ahead and grab it. From here, we're just going to move through a couple spinal rolls to begin to warm up the back side of the body. So go ahead and shift those hips over those heels, reaching those arms out in front of you, letting the head hang heavy. And then as you inhale, we'll draw those hips up. We'll dome through those shoulder blades. We'll tuck through the tailbone. Keep breathing in. Those shoulders shift over those wrists. Eventually, those hips draw down in front of you. You'll open up the heart, roll those shoulders back. Heart stays high. And then as you exhale, slight bend through those elbows. Let that belly hammock. Slight arch of the back as you shift those hips back over those heels. Inhale, we lift, we round, we dome through those shoulder blades. Rock it forward nice and slow as if you're moving through honey. Slowly, those hips lower. We open up the heart, not really focusing on what it looks like here, more so what it feels like in your body. Exhale, bend through those elbows. Let the belly hammock and shift those hips back over. Just two more. Inhale, we lift. Breathe it in. Draw the navel up the spine. Find some space through those shoulder blades. Tuck the chin. Hips lower. Complete through that inhale as you open up the heart. And then as you exhale, draw the belly down. Shift those hips over. You're grounding. You're rooting into those palms. Feeling into the earth. Last one here. Inhale, we lift. Breathe it in, round, dome. Inhale deeply, open up the heart. We're warming up the back side of the body. And this round, we're just going to exhale as you lower down slow. So as we come down to the belly, we are going to begin to get into those quads, which we will most definitely need. So go ahead and place that left hand parallel to the front of your mat. You can go ahead and bend into that right knee as you reach around with that right hand. We're going to draw that heel into the glute here. Breathing deeply. Feeling that belly press up against the ground. Exhale draws that heel in a little closer. And then gently we begin to release. Careful not to slingshot that leg down. We go ahead and switch arms. Right arm draws in front. And as it draws in front here, you reach around with that left hand bending into that left knee. We draw that heel into the glute, breathing into that quad. Relaxing through the glutes here as you send all that energy, all that space into that hip flexor and the top of the thigh. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, draw it in a little bit deeper. Inhale, release it here. Go ahead and reach those arms back in front of you, maybe bending through those knees and just windshield wipering them from side to side, waking up those hips. From here, we're gonna go right ahead and plant those palms next to the chest here. Elbows stick to the ribs. As you take that next breath in, we tuck through those toes. We're gonna move through that strong plank. So on your next inhale, go ahead and press your way up to that plank pose. We hold, we fire up that belly. So in your plank pose here, I want you to dome through those shoulder blades, pressing that mat away. Those shoulders, they stack right over the wrists here. That tailbone is reaching back towards the heels. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, go ahead and drop those knees. And remember, if we're ever in that posture and you need a little bit of space, you feel free to take those knees down to the mat. This is your practice, so make sure you're listening to your body. From here, let's go ahead and open up that side body here. Let's send that right foot behind us as you kick those left toes off of your mat. We're gonna roll towards that left palm. As you reach those right fingertips high, we take a deep breath in. Exhale, reaching those right fingertips overhead here. That bicep sticks to the ear. Gaze can be down towards that left palm. Maybe you open it up here as you look out from that armpit space. From here, lift up through that right foot. Maybe, right? We flex through those toes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, draw it in, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, reach it out. Last one, exhale, draw it in. Inhale, reach it out. From here, you have the option to bend into that right foot, capturing the top of the foot, maybe the ankle. We press that foot into the palm of the hand. You open up the heart here, gaze high, you ground through those left fingertips, they spread wide. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, open it back up. Beautiful. Go ahead and set that right foot down. From here, I'm going to have you take that right hand to the heart space. As you continue to ground through that left palm, you press out from that left shoulder. We're going to rotate the chest high towards the sky. Gaze opens. We take a deep breath in. Exhale. Swinging that shoulder around. We set that right palm down. Beautiful. We come back towards neutral as we reset for a moment. And then we prepare to take it to the other side. So from here, go ahead and extend that left leg behind you. Let's kick those right toes off of our mat. They act as a kickstand for us here. You have a little bit of a better view on this side. You ground into that right palm. You reach those left fingertips up overhead to start. And then from here, let's go ahead and extend that left arm over. That palm is facing down, those fingertips reach. On your next breath in, lifting up through that left foot. Now, if this doesn't feel good, keep it down on the mat. Just remember, whatever you decide to do, do it with your full body. So if that left foot is lifted, we flex through those toes. You take a deep breath in as you extend. And then as you exhale, we draw it in, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, reach it out. From here, you have that option to bend into that left knee, capturing the top of the foot. If you do, press it into the palm so that heel draws away from the glute. You open up the heart, maybe the gaze draws high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, gently. We make our way back to that previous pose. We set that left foot down. Now from here, you're pressing into the outer side of that left foot. That left hand draws to the heart. You ground through that right palm and you just begin to rotate that right shoulder. As you draw that left shoulder head back, the heart opens towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. exhale. We go right ahead and we circle that left arm around, coming back towards the mat. We reset for a moment, maybe sinking into our child's pose, offering a little space to that low back. Maybe you find a gentle sway. And then from here, let's go right ahead as we tuck those toes. We are going to straighten through those legs and find that first downward facing dog. So, if you're feeling warm already like I am, maybe that breath is beginning to shift. Maybe it's drawn a little higher, right? Maybe it feels a little more labored. It is all good. Taking this moment here to reset. Coming back to that breath, coming back to your body. In your downward facing dog, those heels draw towards the mat. Now listen, they may or may not ever touch. Wherever you are, you just get to be there. Remember, we're taking up space. No matter what it looks like, I want you to press the chest back towards the thighs. I want you to really ground through those palms and press out from those shoulders, drawing that low belly in. We zip up through those quads. And we melt those hamstrings down. Take a deep breath in here. You can pedal out those feet. You can shake the head out, yes and no, really feeling that weight draw down through the back of the head and the neck. And from here on that next breath, go ahead and tippy-toe your way towards those hands. Feet come up to the top of your mat. And we'll meet in this forward fold. So just take a moment here. You've got tons of options, right? Those feet can be together, maybe slightly apart. Knees can be straight. Maybe you find a generous bend and allow the belly to rest top of the thighs. Maybe you find a gentle sway. Grabbing opposite elbows to deepen, tractioning through the spine here. But really letting that head and neck draw down. Say we'll be here for another 3. Making sure you're staying in tune with that breath, with that nourishment. 2. On that 1, maybe releasing those hands, lifting up halfway. Go ahead and interlace those fingers behind the low back. And then as you exhale, softening through those knees, we fold it in as those knuckles draw high. Spine, hands up the shins maybe. Let's find a flat back here as those shoulders roll down. Exhale, fold it in. Maybe noticing a little more space that you have created. And on your next breath, we bend through those knees really deep. We start to roll up the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow as we ragdoll our way to the top. Inhale, reach those arms high. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands draw to the heart. On that next inhale, breathing back that intention that you set for yourself right at the beginning. Feel it through the body. Exhale, go ahead and melt it down. Inhale, halfway lengthen the spine. Fingertips can stay. Maybe they continue to draw up the shins. Exhale, plant those hands. Step it back 1 foot at a time. Let's meet in that high plank and hold. So we fire up that belly, that heart. You feel that space draw through those shoulder blades. You get acquainted with the earth underneath you here. You press it away. Take a deep breath in. Remember, if this ever feels like too much, you drop those knees. If you're with me, shift forward on those toes. Exhale. Lower halfway, right about to the elbows. We stay. When you're ready, flip the tops of those feet. You peel the chest up. You find that up dog, thighs off the mat, maybe. And then as you exhale, you shift those hips back high. Downward facing dog. Now remember, you always have space to modify, right? Whatever I offer is just a suggestion. You listen to your body, and you make this practice yours. But if you're with me, go ahead and inhale, bend the knees back. Exhale, take that giant step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lengthen the spine. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, we rise, reach those arms high, deep breath in. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back 1 foot at a time. Find that high plank and hold. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, move through your vinyasa chaturanga, those arms here. Exhale, flip. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Shift those hips high, we breathe. Beautiful, let's take one more here. Have this nice gentle warm up. We'll add on a little variation to this nice sun salutation. So inhale, bend those knees back. Exhale, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, we rise, reach those arms high. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, let it go. I'm actually going to switch sides here. I think it'll be a little bit easier. As you let it go, go right ahead and step that left foot behind you. Drop that knee to the mat. Inhale, reach those arms high, breathe in. As you exhale, let's exalt this dragon. So right hand down behind you, left arm stays high. We open up the heart here, we breathe. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Tuck your back toe, lift the knee, sweep that right foot back. Move through your vinyasa, or maybe you skip it this time, right? You find the space that feels good for you. Exhale, hips high. Beautiful. From here, inhale, left leg high. Bend the knee. Circle that hip around, find a little space. Inhale, left leg draws high. Exhale, step it up in between the hands. Find that dragon pose. Drop that back knee. Sweep those arms up. As those arms lift, you square those hips off. Left hip crease back, right forward. Take a deep breath in. Draw those inner thighs together. Exhale, left hand down towards that back thigh. Right arm reaches high. You take a deep inhale here. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Tuck your back toe, lift the knee, step it up to the top. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, we rise, reach those arms high, breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart, body should be getting nice and warm. Inhale, nourish that space, reach those arms up. Exhale, forward fold, get out. Inhale, halfway lengthen. This time as you exhale, step that right foot behind you. Keep that back knee lifted. We reach those arms high. You sink into that left knee here. So that knee stacks over the ankle. Back foot is on toes. Those arms reach up. Those shoulders relax out from the ears as you ground into that left foot. In this nice crescent pose, back thigh is zipping up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, open up those elbows, sink into those hips, heart high, breathe. Inhale, we reach. Exhale, we fold. Step it back to your downward facing dog. Beautiful. From here, inhale, sweep that right leg high. Bend the knee, open the hips slightly. Start to find those circles here. So we're drawing that heel towards the glute. We're circling it out both directions. Inhale, right leg high when you're ready. Exhale, step it up in between the hands. Back foot on toes, engage the belly as you inhale, reach those arms high. Sink into that right hip here. We square them off. You draw that low belly in, a slight tuck of the tailbone. You draw those inner thighs together here, so squeezing it all in towards the midline. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sink into it. Open up those elbows, heart high, gaze to the sky. Inhale, we reach. Exhale, we fold. Step it up to the top. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, we rise, reach those arms high. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, take it all the way down. Inhale, halfway lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant those hands. You can step it back to a downward facing dog. You can take another vinyasa here. Whatever feels best for you. Now from here, we're gonna move straight towards that flow. So, if this does not feel like enough rest for you, you drop those knees, you come towards a child's pose, you remember your breath and your intention that you set for your body. If you are with me, let's take a deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, let it go. Beautiful from here. When you're ready, inhale, right leg reaches high. Bend the knee, open the hip, let it yawn here. I want you to really feel that activation through the quad as you draw that heel down towards the glute. That hip flexor works as well. We flex through those toes. Breathe. Try to square those shoulders off now. Inhale, reach that right leg high. Exhale, step it up in between the hands for your crescent pose. Sinking into that right hip here. So as you find your crescent, again, we square those hips off. You root into that right foot. You ground through those toes. You reach those fingertips high as you spread them wide. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, go ahead and send those hands behind the lower back. Interlace those fingers here. Let's draw the heart open as those knuckles draw down. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, we're going to humble our warrior. So spin that back foot flat. We're going to draw that right shoulder towards that right knee. Breathing here. Letting the crown of the head hang heavy. Shoulder towards the knee, knuckles high, deep breath in. As you exhale, shift those toes forward. Let's find that wide leg forward fold, those prasarita. Now here, those arms can stay. It might feel nice to really stretch out through those shoulders as we will need them. If that does not feel good on the body, just gently release them here. Inhale, lift up halfway, fingertips stay, breathe in. Exhale, let it go. From here, go ahead and turn those toes out, heels in. Hands to hips to lift the chest, and maybe we sink into our goddess pose. So in your goddess pose, this first round, let's go ahead and take those hands to the tops of the thighs. Let's take a deep breath in as you tuck through the tail, engage the belly. Exhale, let's dip into that right shoulder here. So you're pressing that right thigh away as you find that slight bend into that left elbow. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Exhale, left side, dip it down. If those thighs are burning, they are working. Inhale, center, open up those arms. And then find that warrior two towards the front of your mat. So that right knee here. I want you to find that heel to arch alignment through those feet. As you sink into that right knee here, I want you to track that knee out towards the pinky. So make sure you can see that front big toe. Gaze over that middle finger. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle pose. Elbow to thigh maybe for this first round. As you reach those left fingertips through, we're not dumping into that shoulder. Really draw that left shoulder head back. Open up the heart and extend through that side body. Deep breath in. As you exhale, left palm down, right fingertips high. Woo! Stack through those shoulders. We breathe here. We find that low twisted runner's lunge. As you zip up through that back thigh, you sink into that right knee. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, drop that back knee down, untuck the toes. Exalt that dragon. Breathe it in. Exhale, left palm down. Now here's where we get into that modification for our wild thing. That right arm stays high. We sweep that right foot back, and we end up back in that position that we did right at the beginning of our class. From here, instead of hand to heart, maybe, as you ground through that left palm, you begin to open that chest towards the sky. We reach those right fingertips through, and maybe your gaze follows. We find that mild back bend here as you press into the outer side of the foot. Breathe in. Exhale. Circle that arm around as you draw back down towards your mat. Maybe knees stay here. As you exhale, elbows stick to the ribs. We lower down slow. Inhale here. Let's find that cobra. So those palms plant, elbows stick in, tops of feet press into the mat. As you inhale, peel the chest up. Exhale, melt it down. Beautiful. From here, you can press through your strong plank or through tabletop, and then shift those hips high. And here, we did it on the right, so we do it on the left. From here, as you inhale next, go ahead and reach that left leg high. Bend that knee, open the hip. Circle it around, let it yawn here. Really feel that glute draw into, or the heel rather, draw into the glute. As you activate through the top of the thigh and through that hip flexor, take a deep breath in, straighten through that left leg. Exhale, sweep it forward, plant it in between those hands. Reach those arms high, sink into your crescent pose. Beautiful. From here, as you settle into this high lunge, slight tuck of the tail, square those hips off, sink into it, settle those shoulders. Zip up through that back thigh. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, take those hands behind the low back. Draw those knuckles down. Open up the heart. And then as you exhale, let's humble that warrior. So spin that back foot flat. Try to keep those hips as square as possible. Draw that left shoulder down towards the knee. Crown of the head towards your mat. Sink into it here. Knuckles high, take a deep breath in. Exhale, straighten through that front leg. Toes face forward. Prasarita. Maybe release through those hands here. Crown of the head draws down. You feel that weight draw down through the back of the neck. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, let it go. From here, toes out, heels in. Sink into your goddess pose. Open up those arms. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, right elbow towards that right thigh. Reach those left fingertips up and over. And then bring it back to center. Next breath, left elbow towards that left thigh. Reach those right fingertips up and over. Open the chest. And center, we sink in. Warrior two, woo! That should feel nice. Heel to arch here. You tuck through that left hip. You track that left knee out. You find those strong arms as you settle those shoulders out from the ears. Gaze over that middle finger. Sink into it a little more. Inhale, reverse that warrior. Keep those legs the same. Exhale, side angle pose. Elbow to thigh main. We reach those right fingertips through. You keep lengthening the spine as you sink in. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, right hand to your mat. Spin on those back toes. Left fingertips reach high. Find this twisted runner's lunge. We breathe in. So really ground through that right palm here. Really get used to feeling it into the earth as you spread those fingers. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, right knee down. Untuck those toes. You lift the chest, reverse or exalt this low lunge. Breathe it in. As you exhale, windmill those hands down. Right palm to the mat. Left arm stays high. I want you to ground into that right palm. as you sweep that left foot behind you. Kick those right toes off. Now from here, we find that space. As you really root into that right palm, I want you to begin to open up the heart towards that sky. Those left fingertips go to follow. If this feels like too much, keep that hand to the heart. If the neck cranks and it does not feel good, maybe it stays down, or just a slight lift. Breathe in here. As you exhale, circle that left arm around. Plant that hand to the mat. Maybe this time you move through that vinyasa here. Exhale, lower slow. Inhale, peel the chest up. Exhale, hips high. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, drop those knees. All right, my friends, from here, that body should be nice and warm. So we're gonna play around a little bit with this wild thing posture. We've done that modification a couple times, and as you move through that flow, right, if you wanted to continue doing that modification, it is always there for you. If you wanted to add on a little bit more, we can do just that. So before we move on though, I'm gonna go ahead and have you interlace those fingers behind the back as you sit on those heels. Let's take a deep breath in as you draw those knuckles down, open up the heart, breathe in passion, breathe in vibrance, take up space. Feel grounded into this beautiful earth and notice those things that nourish you here. Inhale, heart opens, throat space opens, gaze high. Exhale gently. We begin to release those hands as you roll through those shoulders, extending those arms out in front of you. Beautiful. From here, let's go ahead and lift. So we've got a couple different options to move into that wild thing posture. So I think the most typical way that we hear it offered is from that downward facing dog. And a lot of times it's right at the beginning. Let's go ahead and shift this blanket to the side here. So as our blanket comes right on out. From here, let's go ahead and talk about how we get into that posture. So first way here, from our downward facing dog, as you ground into those palms, right, you press out from those shoulders, wrapping those triceps under. From here, you ground into that right foot as you lift that left leg high. We take a deep breath in. I want you to feel as though those palms could carry your weight. So from here, take a deep breath in, left leg lifts, bend that knee, draw that heel into the glute. Now from here, if you want to move into that wild thing from this downward facing dog, right? For some of us, this might be a pretty big reach down to the ground, right? And if that feels like the case for you, I got another option for you, don't worry. But from here, as you open up that hip, you're going to shift forward slightly on those toes as that weight bears into that right palm. That left foot drops down. As you begin to lift those hips, you reach those fingertips through. Breathe in. Exhale, maybe you sit it down. And then if you want to go back, we find it. Inhale, we lift those hips, you press into that right foot, open up through that quad. And then to get out of it, that weight bears into that right hand. That left hand reaches for the earth. The gaze follows. And then you reach those left toes high. Exhale, set it all down. And of course, that can also happen on the other side, right? You lift that leg, you bend that knee, you drop it down nice and slow, nice and close. As you roll into that left palm this time, right toes come down. As you straighten through that left leg, you reach those right fingertips through. Breathe. Exhale, gaze finds that mat, right palm shifts back down. You spin on those toes. You reach that leg high. Exhale, set it all down. Now, if for, right, any reasons at all, you're like, that doesn't feel accessible to me, we have another way to get into it. that might feel a little bit more approachable. So within that flow, we were coming from that twisted runner's lunge. So as you come into that runner's lunge here, you plant that hand, you reach those right fingertips high. From here, the other way to get into that wild thing, as you firm up through that left palm, the palm that is down, we're gonna move into a side plank. So you roll onto the outer side of that back foot. That top leg comes to meet. You breathe here. You hike those hips high as you press into that palm. You lift, gaze to follow that top arm. Now, the ground is real close to us. That top leg lifts, maybe even just slightly. As it lifts, you bend into it. That ground is right here. You reach for it. You lift those hips, and ta-da! You're in that wild thing. You press out from that bottom arm. From here to get back, maybe instead of spinning all the way around, you sit it down all the way onto the ground. And if you want, you're right here. You just roll right over. That top knee drops. And we're back. So, getting into that wild thing, we have a lot of room, a lot of space to make that happen here. If we wanted to see it kind of activated through that flow, you can come with me here as we'll take it on the other side. So we'll move through this series. As you inhale, we reach that left leg high. Exhale, step that left foot up in between the hands. Right palm stays. Left fingertips reach. We find that twisted runner's lunge. I want you to ground into that right palm with me here as we kind of play around with this. From here, maybe, right, now remember, you always have the option to drop that bottom knee, sweep that leg out. But if you want a little bit more and you want to find that space, roll into that side plank. So firm up into that right arm. Spin on the outer side of that right foot. Sweep that left foot back. Hike those hips high. Ground into that palm, press it away. Take a deep breath in. Start to gently lift that top leg, even if it's just here. Bend into that knee. Step it right onto the ground and lift those hips. We breathe in. Exhale, maybe you drop it down. If you're still lifted, we breathe up here. And maybe you set that left hand down. You roll back to it, and you're right in that plank pose. Hips high. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, drop those knees. Sit back on those heels. Come back to your breath. So here, as you begin to slow the body, slow the breath, remembering again why you showed up to your mat in the first place and thanking your body for all that it did, all that you chose not to, and everything in between. Let's round through those shoulders for a moment, wrapping those arms around the side body, letting the head hang. Continuing to nourish. Continue to take up that space. From here, let's conjure through a bit of that back bending that we were doing. So as you press your way up, let's go ahead and sweep those feet to one side, hips down to the other. We'll extend those legs out in front of us. And from here, very mindfully, we are just gonna roll it down to our backs. So from here, go right ahead and bring those knees into the chest. Let's circle them around here, feeling that low back press into the mat. And then from here, let's open up those arms. Let's shift those knees over to the right side. Let's let them hang, let them fall. Maybe the gaze draws over to the left. Remembering that this portion of your practice is just as important as everything else. Exhale. As you inhale, release the center. From here, let's continue to rock that low back against the mat. Sending those legs straight up. Finding kind of this waterfall here, allowing that blood to flow in a different direction, feeling everything draw down towards the heart. Shoulders press into the ground. Maybe you rotate those ankles. Bend, straighten the legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, draw those knees into the chest. Give everything a good squeeze. Wrap it up. Lift the chin, the shoulders. As you exhale, let it all go. We'll go ahead and send those feet down. Let's just roll towards that left side for a moment to press our way up. And we'll end out our class here just with gratitude for our bodies. We breathe and we breathe. So as we sit it up nice and tall, left hand to heart, right hand to the belly. We take a moment. Softening through the skin of the face. Relaxing the shoulders down the spine. You have time to lay there a little longer. Please feel free. Nourishing your body, your practice. Let's take a deep inhale through the nose. Breathe it in. Open the mouth. Exhale. Let it go. From here on that next breath in, go ahead and sweep those arms high. Fill up your belly. Fill up your body. We breathe. Open the mouth. Exhale. Take those hands to the heart. I just want to take a moment here to thank you for showing up for yourself for this practice that you've dedicated your time to. Please, I just want you to continue to be kind to yourself as you do need you the most. And just never forget that you are divinely whole. Namaste. Thank you so much, Banduka. Again, thank you for having me. Thank you for participating in this practice. Just remember to continue to take up that space that you deserve. Continue to nourish your body, your soul, your mind, your full self, as you are so deserving and worthy of that space. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Taylor, and I'll see you guys next time.